he was at. Like, by any means necessary. I'm trying to hurt somebody, but it was just a bad decision on all parts.
Knowing how everything works over in that region, he'll be suspended indefinitely or till the Big 12 tournament.
Right.
Whichever comes
Whichever happens.
Yeah.
I wanted to use that as a segue to show some NBA fights, but I was overruled.
My
so
gosh, we're condoning fighting on this
I'm just
network.
saying, cooler heads prevailed, cooler than me. Welcome to the Jump. I'm Rachel Nichols alongside my
He like
day
me
ones.
and don't fight.
No fighting. New York Times bestselling author Brian Windhorst and the Hall of Famer Tracy McGrady. Tracy's in a mood today.
He's a lover, not a fighter.
He's happy. He's excited. I'm just warning all of you, you're going to get Tracy on 12 today. Coming up, it's the NBA's version of Rex Manning Day. #1 pick, Zion Williamson, making his NBA debut against the Spurs right here on ESPN. Word is he will be in the starting lineup. Much more to come throughout the hour on that. First, though, Dwight Howard's rebirth with the Lakers is one of the best stories in the NBA this season, and last night he made it official that he's not just back on a championship contending team, he's also returning to the All-Star Dunk Contest. I was with Dwight in New York when he made his announcement. He told me just how this came together. You are going to participate in the dunk contest for the first time in more than a decade. What made you want to do it again?
Well, last summer, after I signed with the Lakers, I went to Venice Beach. And I went to the court and I started dunking. And I had like a little slam dunk contest with a guy I didn't even know at the time.
I have seen some video of this.
Yeah, he was an actual dunker. And I was like, man, if I'm doing these dunks now, I should probably try to get back in the dunk contest. And, I've been thinking about it ever since then and, processing what that feeling would be like. And, I wanted to get back in it.
Are we going to see any throwbacks to some of the old dunks from your previous dunk contests?
I was actually thinking about doing some stuff like that, bringing back some old things and kind of twist them into 2020.
Any Superman?
Well, you see what the shirt says.
I'm back.
I'm back.
Back indeed. This year's dunk contest could get pretty spicy. We don't have an official word yet. But remember, Aaron Gordon came on the Jump and said he wanted to get a rematch with Zach LaVine of their epic 2016 battle. For me, the best dunk contest of all time, still 88, Chicago, Michael Jordan, Dominique Williams. The human highlight did this.
Yeah, that was pretty special.
Look at this.
I mean, 88 doing those type of dunks, the creativity was off the charts.
Jordan, of course, from the stripe.
That just looks poetry in motion, man. Just beautiful.
Oof. I'm not sure we're ever going to reach that plateau again, not when some of the league's best dunkers keep declining to participate, John Morant. But Dwight Howard jumping back in this year can only help. After all, watching Superman fly never gets old. So, T-Mac, what was your favorite all-time dunk contest?
Well, that one that you just showed, 1988, was a great one. I was a part of a great one in 2000. I know a lot of people suspect me to say that that was the best in 2000, but I mean, going into that, I knew Vince was going to win the slam dunk contest. That's why I didn't want to do it.
So wait, tell the people what happened.
We stayed in the same building in Toronto, right? I didn't want to get in the slam dunk contest, and he kept begging me to enter it. Oh, get in, cuz. Get in. You're going to do well. I was like, boys, you crazy. Like, I see what you do every day. I can't compete with that.
Right.
So finally, we sitting in his apartment, we're playing video games, and he just kept begging me until I just gave in and was like, okay, I'll do it. So, I mean, we know what the results was. He put on a freaking show, right? It was over, right? I mean, it's what I thought. But I think the best one to me was Zach LaVine and Aaron Gordon. In 2016, that was pretty special. I was actually a judge on the panel, and the creativity that they brought out, it was like Neek and Jordan in '88. It was just 50s back to back, and it was a sight. Yeah, those guys was out of their mind that night.
Yeah,
and it wasn't like
that one when he goes underneath his legs.
Yep.
He's 6'10".
What I loved about that dunk contest, it wasn't 3 or 4 tries. It was like, no, we getting it on the first try, right? And that's to me. So I go with 2016.
So the first one I ever watched, the first All-Star Saturday I ever watched was 1988. Larry Bird wins the three-point contest, holds his finger up, knowing he was going to make it to beat Dale Ellis. And this was my first ever slam dunk contest. You know, I went back and watched it this morning because I knew we were talking about it. Dominique got screwed on the score in his last dunk.
A lot of people said
been
it was in
complaint, and
Chicago. Home cooking was the accusation.
Jordan's second dunk of the finals, he got a low score.
Yes,
and the
and the crowd booed.
Crowd booed rightfully. That score was low. It did set up a great moment in the end where Jordan needed 49 to win, and he
started in the backcourt.
I know. I'm not taking anything away. I'm just saying Dominique. And when you watch it again, Clyde Drexler was in and he had gotten eliminated earlier, and Drexler knew that Dominique had gotten screwed. When Dominique came down and sat there and got the score, and all the crowd started buzzing because they knew Jordan would win, because it was possible Dominique could have eliminated Jordan. He had a lead. He could have eliminated him. And Drexler knew it was trash.
It's a bummer to see the regression, right? Because we used to have guys like Michael Jordan, 2-time slam dunk contest winner, and the lights of the league participating. When you and Vince participated, you were the best dunkers in the NBA. That's who we had in the slam dunk contest. We got this great moment in 2016, but there's still a lot of people who have been missing these recent years. And now it's even filtered down to the rookies, right? So Zion's been hurt. I wouldn't necessarily expect him to do it this year now anyway, but even in the preseason, he's like, I don't know if I really want to do that. I don't think so. John Morant doesn't want to do it. Like, even the rookies now I don't know if they're too cool for school. I don't know if they're afraid of being embarrassed.
LeBron sort of set that standard. Like, LeBron was like, I'm not doing it. You know, he thought the downside was higher than the upside, was lower than the upside. And, you know, ever since then, I think it's like, well, LeBron didn't do it.
I can make the case for LeBron, though, because to me, looking at LeBron's career, LeBron was a one-foot jumper. Like he's not as
you've educated me on this.
He's not as athletic coming off 2 feet. He's a one-foot jumper, and it's not really that many dunks.
Right, but she's saying that like as a rookie, it's kind of like if you're a big-time rookie, it's sort of like part of being in the league.
Right, kind of getting ushered into the league.
I understand what you're saying, though. I understand.
So, not sure if anyone has mentioned this, but hey, Zion Williamson makes his NBA debut
What channel is
tonight.
it on, Rach?
I'm going to tell you that the Pelicans host the Spurs right here on ESPN. Zion is expected to be in the starting lineup, but they will monitor his minutes. Brian, do you like New Orleans' game plan for Zion? Because there was some back and forth over whether he was going to start.
Okay. One thing I'm going to give the Pelicans huge credit on here. They know this is a big event. They told us several days ago, Zion is going to come back on Wednesday. They allowed ESPN to switch the schedule to make sure it could be on national television.
Yep.
Yes, I have a vested interest in it. I work for ESPN. But as an NBA fan, I'm very happy to see it. They are going to start him tonight because it is the right thing to do for the game. Then Zion has to achieve on his own. But they recognize, other teams are like, oh no, game time decision, blah, blah, blah. The league needs Zion right now, and New Orleans and the Pelicans organization is really trying to make it happen, and it's good for their fans too. And I am excited about him, Tracy, because in the preseason, when LeBron was a rookie, he was not good in the preseason. I was nervous about LeBron's first game. Now, he was awesome.
Right.
But part of the reason he was awesome is because the preseason was shaky. Zion's preseason
was incredible.
Was one of the greatest in the history of rookies in the game.
Wow.
So while I recognize he is coming off a knee injury, unlike LeBron, who was fully healthy, and he's probably only going to play, 15 or 20 minutes
Is
tonight.
Zion really still coming off a knee injury?
Well,
I think he's healthy.
Coming off a knee injury.
Did you see this man in Madison Square Garden just vertically put it between his legs? Are you kidding
I
me?
don't go over the top a lot. I am really, really excited to see Zion.
Tonight, I think he's going to have an amazing night. One, the adrenaline is going to be flowing, and we know as great players, when that adrenaline is flowing like that, and he's eager to get out there, he's going to be jumping higher than everybody, which he already does. He's going to be faster. He's going to be stronger. Like, he's going to have an incredible night. And I think it's going to be easy for him because of the style of play they play. They're one of the fastest-paced teams in the NBA.
And don't you think they've got some plays ready? Don't you think they've got a pet play ready for him?
Just a lob to get him comfortable and build his confidence. But he's going to be amazing tonight.
It's interesting. Our Adrian Wojnarowski reporting that the Pelicans have pulled back from any trade phone calls and that they're thinking, hey, this isn't the time when they had that 13-game losing streak. They've been winning games. Zion's coming back. Let's make that playoff
They also
push.
have, a favorable schedule.
So we'll see what happens. Coming up, Luka Pocket. Please apologize to everyone you're having dinner with. We'd like to welcome our columnist from The Undefeated, Clinton Yates. Welcome back. Always nice to have you in town. Since Clinton is with us, we thought it would be a good time to play one of our favorite games here on The Jump. Oh, yes. BS or real. There
deserves to go in the crowd after a bullshit move like that.
I think it's bullshit. I just thought it was bullshit.
Don't give me that crap!
These guys will give you the emojis. First up, Lou Will, thinking ahead to what a Clippers championship parade might look like. The 3-time Sixth Man of the Year told Slam magazine the following, quote, "It makes sense for our whole mantra and everything that we stand for. We'll be the first team in NBA history that it's LA our way," that's their slogan, "and we could possibly hear boos at our own parade. I want to win it for that experience." So is Lou Will saying they could hear boos at their own championship parade, BS or real talk? Go.
That's real talk for me.
Woo! All the way across the board. Why?
Because basically that would actually be a win for the Clippers. I mean, over the past couple months, we've seen so many different things in terms of Laker fans reacting to all of these different things in terms of the Clippers being good. There's an outside argument that they aren't as panicked overall about what their team makeup is if it's not for the fact that it's the Clip Show down the hall that beat the Lakers twice this season. And overall, I think that if they do that, they know they're in the heads of Lakers fans.
Won't it be interesting if they play in the playoffs? In those 7 games, the Lakers may feel like the home team. In those
They're
7
going to. I mean,
games.
I have been in that building for, quote, Clippers-hosted home games, including the opener, and it felt like a Laker game.
What I think about Lakers fans are the kind of people who would come to the parade to boo.
Just to do, that's exactly what they're going to do. They're going to be salty. I mean, this is Laker town. Like, Clippers having a parade in Laker town? Are you kidding me? Of course a Laker fan's going to be out there booing.
I don't know. I mean, look, I get it when these guys go to, like, the Dodgers game or something like that. There are people in the crowd booing. You think that if they win a title...
There will be some Lakers fans out there with their jerseys, painted cars, purple and gold.
They'll say, whatever, they got 17 titles or whatever it is, they'll say 17-1 or whatever.
Right, Lakers fans act like they're not bothered, but the basic concept of the Clippers even being competitive has them out in droves, talking about it already.
Snoop might even be walking up and down the parade on his own Laker float.
Y'all are petty, and I love it. Danny Green has been on 2 championship teams, but he says he has never had more fun on a team than he's having right now. Here is what he told our friend Zach Lowe on the Low Post podcast. Take a listen.
Other guys feel comfortable to talk and bring things to the table, or ask questions, or talk in the group chat, because they're the leaders and they talk about everything. We hang out, we do everything together, and we have fun, man. We have fun regardless of win or losing. It's been probably the most fun season I've had.
Really?
Yeah, off the court by far.
Really?
Yeah.
By far?
By far.
Look at Zach digging it in there. All right, BS or real talk? This guy, Spurs, Raptors titles, you're all with it.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's played with LeBron, and he knows what type of atmosphere and environment LeBron creates. I mean, he played with him in Cleveland. To see those guys on the sidelines, I can understand why he's saying this is probably the best experience, because he's in L.A., having that same experience that he had with LeBron in Cleveland.
Yeah, wasn't Danny Green with LeBron when they did all the camera clips and like all of that stuff?
They didn't win that title. And
Right. I mean, let's they haven't won the title this year yet either. Not to
Well,
put a damper. And now I'm gonna, oh, she hates the Lakers. She said they haven't yet won the 2020 title.
But, first off, with all due respect to the fun guy, I'm not so sure that there was a lot of fun in Toronto last year. There was a lot of pressure.
Right.
And then, I know that Pop has some fun with his guys sometimes, and they have nice bottles of wine, but you wouldn't say the Spurs experience is steeped in
nonstop party machine.
Party with Tim Duncan.
You guys are overlooking my favorite part of his career, which is when he played with Psycho T in college and Tyler Zeller. They were obviously partying it up. I'm stunned that wasn't the most fun experience of his career. I'm joking, but no, overall, yes, I think this has got to be a given that this is his most fun. LeBron's here.
I've seen Roy Williams in those locker rooms.
Oh, yeah, he knows
crazy.
how to party. And look, there he is. Look at Psycho T out there getting it on the floor. You know this guy knows how to have fun.
Well, look, Brian, you've talked about it a lot this year, that LeBron has made such a concerted effort to be a team builder within that locker room, that from the day one, he wanted to build those guys, make them have fun. And he's an exuberant personality.
Mm-hmm.
And every year that passes, as we see LeBron be more comfortable with himself and who he is, the way he acts both publicly, Taco Tuesday, like all the stuff that he does, and in that locker room, he has the perspective of, okay, there are things that are hard, there are things that drive me crazy, but I'm generally pretty blessed, and I'm really enjoying these last sort of, however long it is, stretch of his career. I think that all comes into what Danny Green is feeling right now. Let's talk about Marvin Bagley, the 2nd overall pick in the 2018 draft. Not a fan of people who are criticizing his play. I don't know if this has been mentioned either. Luka Doncic was taken a pick ahead of him. Yeah, that's what Bagley keeps hearing. He said to the Sacramento Bee, quote, "Just keep that same energy. Once things start to come around, or I start putting up these good games, don't change positions. Stay with what you said from the jump. You want to rock with me or continue to not rock with me? That's your opinion, but keep that same energy." is Marvin Bagley. Saying keep that same energy to his critics. BS or real talk, gentlemen.
No offense to Marvin, but when one of these games going to start happening? I mean,
Well,
like I'm serious. I'm not trying to be funny. Like,
you haven't given up your sign.
Yes, I am. This is where I am. So you know, for real.
He's being real saying
He has
that.
been real, but I'm like, this Luka's on a whole nother level right now. So, and I don't see him reaching Luka's level.
Not to mention, the reason the reason that fans are upset is because it was revealed that they didn't really even give a shot at Doncic, and why they didn't pick him. I'm not going to get onto that in this air. Is a big part of it, and I don't think it's as much directed at Bagley as it is anti how did you not get Luka talk overall, because look, you've seen how he is. He's an MVP candidate. It doesn't even matter who the second guy is.
It doesn't matter.
He shouldn't take it personally.
No, he shouldn't. I mean, now if you start putting up those numbers like Luka, then we can start talking, but you're not doing anything right now.
It reminded me, the phrasing, it reminded me a little bit of like me when I would be a kid and being like, when I grow, you'll see. Yeah. And then I never grew. I'm still very, very
waiting
short.
On it.
I'm still waiting on it.
Right?
I'll be able to play basketball better when I'm over 4 feet tall. It's only barely happened. Do you?
I mean, I've spent some time with Marvin. I happen to really like him. I like his game, but he is married, especially while he's in Sacramento, to Luka. And unfortunately for him, while I appreciate what he's saying, I don't think there's going to be an easy way out of that. It's not quite like Sam Bowie, because Luka is not Jordan yet.
Right.
But I could see that taking a Sam Bowie-esque path.
Yes.
He could never overcome that.
I mean, I think in some ways Trae Young is going to be married to Luka for the rest of their careers. And that speaks to partly just how much of a presence Trae Young is, that he is much more on the public consciousness because of the way he has been balling out than Marvin.
Yeah, and we don't hear it about Ayton as much. DeAndre Ayton, who's been good but not great, has he doesn't hear it as much as Bagley does.
Bagley
hears
should
it
want
more.
people to change their minds. You don't want people to still be
Keep that
on
same
the
energy.
Right. No, you want them to be fans, not haters. That doesn't make sense.
Put up those numbers.
Yes. Let's talk about Bradley Beal. His Wizards are 14-28 right now, but he is not ruling out a playoff appearance. The Wizards, technically just 4 games out of the 8th seed in the Eastern Conference. Here's what Beal said when asked about the playoffs, quote, "That's the goal. That's every day for us. It's in the back of my mind." So, Clinton, my D.C. area brethren here, BS or real talk?
I'm sorry. This is only because of the words he used. It's in the back of my mind. You know what's in the back of my mind? I don't know, cleaning up the garage, getting that motorcycle license I thought about giving. I mean,
those are all more possible than the Wizards making the playoffs this year.
Roy's looked good this season. Bertans look good as well. But to say that something's at the back of his mind implies that it's not even a priority. And if it's not a priority for Bradley Beal, then how's it going to be a priority for the Wizards?
I mean, as players, we're competitors. And even when you feel like you're on the worst team, you feel like you have a shot to make the playoffs. I remember getting traded from Houston to the Knicks, and the Knicks were awful. But I thought because of who I am, I was going to go there and help us make a run for the playoffs.
I thought you said you ever played for the Knicks.
Why are you going to bring that up?
Even T-Mac's not that good. Here's the thing. It's a miracle to me that the Wizards are even 4 games out.
Yes.
It's true.
Because of the injuries they've had.
Does it speak more to the Wizards or the Eastern Conference?
I think, believe it or not, that's hard to say. I think they've actually overachieved based on what they've actually had on the floor.
What do I keep saying? So fun to watch.
We got a Coach of the Year candidate in Washington?
No, I didn't say that.
Okay.
I've got it in the back of my mind to attend a game this year.
They might want to investigate the back of the court because they don't play any defense at all, ever. They just like this side.
Not too many teams that do play defense.
Not the front.
Not the front. They like the front. Clinton, thank you so much for joining us. Coming up, stick with us because make anniversaries. Happy 14th anniversary to the Black Mamba dropping 81 on the Raptors. Tracy, where were you when Kobe dropped 81? Do you remember?
I was on the bus just coming off a lousy 30-point game, and then everybody was going crazy. like Kobe has 69 right now.
Yeah, LeBron and Wade actually had a duel. And Wade scored 42, LeBron won. But that, again, didn't make SportsCenter. Don't know what happened.
I was in Pittsburgh getting ready for the Super Bowl with rookie Ben Roethlisberger. That's who I was covering, and Jerome Bettis. I did not play in that Super Bowl, just to clarify that. Missed memories. Lance Stevenson update from China. Little dunk he had recently. Brian, do you miss Lala Lance?
Well, I miss some of Lance, which I think is what a lot of people in the NBA would say.
His spirit, Brian.
He was unmatched.
Lance should be in the league. I actually
Just not on your team.
I think that this is a good place for him.
I actually sent him a pair of my shoes over there.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. I actually think he had them on when he just bammed on that kid.
Well, look at you.
There you go.
Look out for my guy, man. I didn't know I was his favorite player, so I had to look out for him.
Aw, there's a lot of people. You're going to be giving out a lot of shoes, Tracy. There's a lot of people for whom that is true.
Well, let me talk to you later. I'll talk to you later.
Make Larry O.B. The NBA has partnered up with designer Louis Vuitton to carry a new case for the Finals trophy. Mac is stylish, right?
Makes it desirable.
Which is more expensive, the trophy or the case? They're going to need a case for the case.
Case to carry the case.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen, I have watched the Stanley Cup go through a luggage scanner at the airport. It's pretty funny, like as the guy goes through, it's just like, there's a Stanley Cup in the box.
I know that
Very
you roll with Louis
expensive.
luggage, T-Mac.
Expensive taste.
That's how NBA players like it. Miss Whistles. Guys, check out this play from Luka Doncic last night. All right, gets the defender to bite on the fake. He's trying to get the free throws there, but doesn't get the foul call, makes the bucket anyway.
That's all that matters, right?
Right?
I mean, I think the official, I've never seen anything like that before. I think the official was kind of confused.
And
But-
what? The ball going in? You can
Well,
still call the foul.
That should have been a foul.
He was hunting for the foul, which I don't necessarily like.
Right.
Hunting for it? I mean,
Yeah, he's trying to throw himself into the guy. I don't like it.
Oh, he baited the guy. He went for the
I was
fake.
going to say, the airspace got taken.
Yeah, but the guy jumped on the side. He was trying to run into the guy.
Just on the side of the defender, no matter what.
I know you are.
Always.
I know.
You.
I'm always against you with that.
Clippers Mavs was the lone NBA game last night. Just one. Luka versus Kawhi was center stage. The Clippers won 110-107 with Luka and Kawhi each putting up 36. Both showing off last night. Both are in the top 5 of All-Star voting. Kawhi, of course, the reigning Finals MVP. Luka in the MVP conversation for this year. Just last night, who put in the better performance?
I hate to do this. I mean, because both of those boys were special last night. Luka, I mean, what can you say about this kid? Second year and the numbers that he's putting up and what he's doing for the Mavericks. Porzingis was in and out of the lineup with that knee injury, and man, but Kawhi Leonard, to me, it seems like over the last 10 games or so,
Yep.
he has been looking healthy.
Yep.
His movements. I don't care about the numbers or anything.
Right.
I care about how is he moving.
You got that right.
And his movements, it doesn't look like he's laboring anything on the basketball court. In result, he's putting up crazy numbers. They're winning. And it was Kawhi Leonard. He took over that game
I
last
would
night.
argue that the most important thing for the championship question in this whole league is Kawhi Leonard's health.
And Paul George's health, by the way.
Yes, but
Because you need them both to be healthy for them to be dominant.
But even with it's just Kawhi,
Yes.
I think they got a shot. He said last week, there's been a lot of things that have been said out of the Clippers locker room recently that have gotten attention. What didn't get attention was he said he's feeling the best he has all year because he had that little knee issue back in November. They haven't had to play any back-to-backs recently. Now they are tonight. He's going to sit out.
He had 40-something days without a back-to-back.
Yeah, he's played 6 games in 15 days, which, by the way, is about what a playoff series would be like. He has scored over 30 in all those games.
Yeah.
They've won 5 of them, even though Paul George has been out for all of them. I mean, nothing against Luka. Kawhi looks great. Watch out, NBA.
Go. All right. Well, Lou Will has something to say as well. He said recently, if the Clippers win a title this year, say it all the time, New Orleans is the best city in America. I did love the fan in that piece who said New Orleans runs on its own time. Things have never been truer. Drew Brees' commitment to that city, obviously, he was there in the aftermath of Hurricane Katrina, that amazing Monday Night Football game, and, of course, bringing them the Super Bowl years later. To have him say to Zion Williamson, you're going to be my partner in this, it's so meaningful. And the Pelicans, of course, now not that far off from the number 8 seed, only 3.5 games back. So all of that excitement that you saw in that piece from fans, you could see some of that playoff excitement this year. And I mentioned at the top of the show, Adrian Wojnarowski reporting that the Pelicans have made it clear they're pulling back from any trade talks. They're going to use this team and go for it if things stay the way they've been these last few weeks.
In fact, I've heard that in the talks that they've had, they've been looking to acquire players. Maybe not a big-time player, but if they're going to add something, maybe add a veteran.
Right.
Because they are a really young team. And that's why I can't, even though their schedule's favorable, I can't quite without having seen Zion bring
Right.
myself to say they're going to do it because they are so young. They have experienced guys, but you'd be relying on guys who'd never been there before. So I can't quite get myself to say they're
I like what Brandon Ingram and Lonzo Ball have been doing lately.
Oh, yeah, I definitely think they have a great chance of making the playoffs if Zion can continue to stay healthy. The reason being is these guys have been playing, I think Ingram and Lonzo having a breakout year. And you have J.J. Redick, who's a sniper on this team. You add somebody like Zion, who I think could be a 20-point scorer. Like, you adding another 20-point scorer. So you got Drew Holiday, who's averaging 20. You have Ingram, who's averaging 25. Lonzo is putting up nice numbers this year. And you add a 20-point scorer. Absolutely, they can make the playoffs this year with him being healthy.
But there's a bunch of teams around them that could potentially add
Memphis,
pieces as well.
right.
Portland, potentially getting some good news. I'd like to see where everybody is in about 3-4 weeks. I know that the question's being asked today.
They don't have 3 4. The question's being asked today because they don't have 3-4 weeks to the trade deadline.
Right, but
So
I
you
want to
kind of are
see. I want to see where
are you
everything
going for it
happens.
or not?
Right.
I want to see what happens at the deadline, and I want to see how Zion looks for 3 or 4 weeks.
Right.
I'm not worried about how he's going to look. I am worried about, like, what other teams would do in terms of the pieces that they add to their roster. That could potentially, hurt a team like New Orleans. So we'll see.
We'll see. I was just trying to look up J.J. Redick's quote to Zion at the beginning of the season. Don't
mess it up.
Yeah. Up my playoff streak.
13 seasons.
JJ has made the playoffs every season, and he would like that to continue. Up next, which team is the better bet to win the East? The Sixers or the Rockets will not be winning the East. Raptors. They are
Sixers, the answer
facing
is the
off tonight. The
Sixers.
answer is between the Sixers and Rockets, it's definitely the Sixers has the better chance to win the East. But the Raptors, they're on deck tonight. We'll talk about that. It's time for our second distant replay of the day. This one, this date,